Is the teacher right here to mark this answer as wrong? The student said 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 equals 12. And the teacher said, no, that's wrong. It should be 4 plus 4 plus 4 equals 12. Now, before you get your mathematical pitchforks out to explain to the teacher that multiplication is commutative and both answers are correct, please always step back when you see work and corrections by a teacher, because we do not know what has transpired in the classroom. We don't know what kind of a lesson the student was learning and what the teacher has said or hasn't said about how to interpret equations. And in fact, there are a couple of ways of interpreting multiplication equations where the teacher would be actually right if they had explained these subtleties to the kids. The first thing to keep in mind is that elementary school teachers are not mathematicians. Most people are not mathematicians, and most people, when they read a multiplication sentence, like 3 times 4, they read it and interpret it as if it was an actual sentence. And in that sense, the word 3 is playing a role that depends on the position on the word 3 in that sentence. In this sense, the word 3 in the sentence 3 times 4 is what is called a determiner, and 3 is determining or quantifying the next noun, which is 4. So in that sense, the phrase 3 times 4 can be interpreted as 3 fours, and in that case, 3 is a determiner. It's specifying how many 4s we have. So if we just interpret 3 times 4 as an English language sentence, it's equivalent to 3 fours, so it is 4 plus 4 plus 4. Just like 3 apples, it's apple plus apple plus apple. But forget about the English language. In mathematics, when we write 3 times a, that's usually interpreted as a scalar multiplication, and it is usually interpreted as a plus a plus a. And in some cases, a times 3 might also make sense, but in many cases, 3 times a makes sense and a times 3 is not even defined. So, for example, 3 times a matrix A is always interpreted as the scalar multiple of the matrix by the scalar 3, which is the same as a plus a plus a, but there is no meaning to a times 3 in the sense that there is no scalar multiple of 3 where the scalar is a matrix. So yes, the teacher could be correct to mark this answer as wrong if the lesson in the classroom was about how to interpret equations in this particular way, but I hope that any such lesson also has a strong component of teaching students about the commutativity of multiplication of numbers in mathematics. And the importance of commutativity in mathematics that explains why those numerical equations give you the same answer.